have any pen but my green one.
Good evening. We are here at the town hall in Forestville. We are going to start our monthly meeting. It is September 16th, 2024, and the time is, according to my watch, 6:33 p.m. Can we have a call to order?
Kevin Gillett,
Here.
Larry Huber,
Present?
Dina Schmidt here, Jason Klahach,
Here.
Teresa Klahach present. We also have Roy Engelbert and Lauren Eaker.
All right. Can we do the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Verification of public notice.
The meeting was posted on our town website, on our town bulletin board, and in the clerk's office.
It actually was posted on the website, like, one without Zooms and one with the Zooms.
So we should be covered there.
I think so.
Agenda presentation. Anybody see any problem with the agenda?
I make a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
I second.
All right, I have a motion that we adopt the agenda as presented by Larry and a second by Jason. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, yep, carried. Approval of meeting minutes from August 26th, 2024 meeting. Has everybody had an opportunity to look them over?
Yes. And there were changes made, corrections made, and I would make a motion to accept those as corrected.
I second that.
Okay, I have a motion to accept the meeting minutes from August 26th, the ones that were presented to us tonight from Larry, and a second from Jason. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, that will carry. Treasurer's financial report.
Okay, in the town checking, we have $1,573.64. The money market, we have $62,421.36. The broadband account, we have $15,650. The CD for the fire department is $136,476.06. The cemetery account is $14,333.65. And the LGIP is $142,383.51. And just remember, what's in the money market is, it includes the cemetery and the broadband account.
And do we have any outstanding improvement?
Nope, we did get the check from the Maplewood Athletic Club. That did come.
Perfect.
No check?
So there was a check. Were you able to pick that check up in the village?
Yes, that's in your pile over here.
Okay.
Let's look at that real quickly. The check came to Donna Henderson instead of us for that big this road.
Oh,
And this is why, because look at where they mailed it to.
Hmm.
Yeah, so, and she did say she held
Village
it,
in Forestville, we
Yeah.
can't cash that.
she signed it over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but she did say she held it for a while. She was going over her bookwork.
Just trying to figure out where it came from.
Yeah, so this is with the date of it.
890.
Yeah, so, yeah.
$850?
I don't know if they charge them personally another fee on top of whatever.
I was gonna, I
But
think
our-
they charged $750,
Yeah.
Correct.
and that's what I was gonna reimburse them for $750. Right? Or do
Well,
we-
no, because if we received this, right,
Yeah, we
you
received-
would give them that.
Mm-hmm.
She paid us directly. We are free and clear.
Oh, okay, so I'm
Right.
gonna have to void a check and reissue, so, just so you know.
And I wouldn't, this is my opinion, I would not give her that check, which I can call her. I called that she had voicemail
Okay,
until that clears.
okay.
Once we know that clears, because
Okay.
we made it
Yeah,
up to
'cause you don't-
whatever.
Right, yeah.
Sometimes they're goofy, they shouldn't be, but you never,
Right,
right? You
Yeah,
don't wanna
So I'll
give
let you
somebody
know
something.
when
you
it
don't
comes.
get
I'm
any-
just gonna-
Usually it's about
Okay.
7 days
Yep, sooner the
Better
clearer.
wait.
So, we can authorize that payment. At that point, you can
Let it go.
sign that check, we'll all sign, do whatever
We're
we
just
gotta do,
waiting it.
and then, yeah, but I'm saying that,
The new check.
because it'll
Oh,
be
yeah.
before, she
Yeah.
shouldn't have to wait
Oh.
for the next meeting.
We'll do the mailbox. I'll put it in the mailbox, everybody can sign.
Right,
Then
but
once
we'll,
everybody
tonight
signs-
we'll,
Yep.
we'll make part of that
Yep,
as the motion for
definitely.
paying of the bills, in my opinion.
Okay.
That's how we would handle it.
Got it.
Yep,
Yes, she should not have to wait another month.
Right.
It's been like 5, so.
right.
Yeah, that's been a long time.
And then I gave you a check from Guy Gig for,
Yeah, what is the
for driving,
driveway?
yeah.
Okay. Okay,
Okay. All right,
I'll make a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
I'll second.
all right, I have a motion made by Jason to accept the treasurer's report as read off and given to us, and second by Larry, all in favor?
Right?
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, that will carry. All right, we are to public comment. Is there anybody online?
I don't believe so. Hang on. Yeah, I'll get over there. I can't see. Yes, we are the only ones. Nobody else is online.
Okay. Roy, anything that you'd like to go over?
Yes, just a few things. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just one thing about S&S, finally, after about 10 years, got approval to install a road between their farm and the calf farm. And so as of last week, I was informed that we can have a picnic on Mill Road now. This has been a long time in coming. The DNR approved it back last October and had a hearing with the Board of Adjustments because of little things, and you got the road in now, I understand.
and they're running on it tonight.
And they're running on it tonight, so that's save Mill Road for another 5 years maybe.
Gonna help anyway.
Yeah. Because like you couldn't keep that mile of Mill Road up. It was, that blacktop must be about 8 inches thick in places. It's that much was done on that. Talking about zoning changes, back in March of 24, the state legislature approved a method for towns to remove themselves from county zoning. Now, I encourage you to go to the Wisconsin Towns Association Convention. I'm sure there's going to be a session on that. I'm going next week to the County Association Conference, and there's going to be a session on that. It's not as simple as what you think it is.
It's like 5 years.
Yeah, you have to have a plan in place, but we'll go through the whole thing. Now, to come up with, we talked about this a little bit earlier, the zoning department has put on 2 more people to take care of a backlog of non-compliance. You don't have that problem here in Forestville. I only know, when I left, I only know a couple of cases that were, one serious one in Clay Banks and one here. But we have that problem north of Bay.
Well, we do have a problem down there. O and J.
Yeah, that's the only one I'm aware of.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, they didn't have enough people to handle the backlog, and it became a very serious situation.
Right.
I first found out about it in December. A little bit concerned about that, but please to go to the convention. You'll hear a lot of information on it. Also, no more information on broadband. I thought it was all said and done. I thought we had an ISP provider, internet service provider, all set, taking care of the town of Forestville. Now I'm hearing a little bit different story. I'm hearing that they're going to be going in blocks.
Lego block.
Lego, they use the term Lego block. And so mark your calendar for October 24th at Stone Harbor. It looks like it starts at 8:30 in the morning.
It is. It's I've got that information.
Yeah, it should be a good meeting for you, and
I'm gonna be there.
more information about how it's going. Clay Banks, by the way, they're getting their fiber optics buried right now.
This is what you're talking about.
Yes, broadband summit.
Yep.
So please take that in. I plan to put that in for my information, but that's an important document.
Yeah.
Couple other things at a personal note, grass cutting. Are you gonna go fence line to fence line this year? They only went down one way.
On town roads?
town roads. Usually you go
They're
fence,
supposed to go to 20 whatever feet, yeah, there should be two slots.
two spots, yeah, they went down a few roads. But not Dyer Road hasn't been done, and neither has Maplewood Road, but then, and they came down 3 weeks ago, they didn't come back.
I will find out.
Another subject, the west bank here at the town hall is town property. It's not S&S property, and I see it's growing up really bad. There's some trees starting to grow. That should be cut.
Oh, you
down.
mean down in the corner over here?
Well, the whole line.
Of all
Yeah.
along?
It should be cut out. Those little saplings are gonna give you, it's gonna look like it did 10 years ago before S&S cleaned it up. So I encourage you to do something there. As far as, this is my personal. As far as the highway department, they're at full staff right now. I see they're doing Old Figure Road and Town Line, County Line Road. They should be finished next week. They're laying the blacktop now. So that's all I got.
All right. Perfect, thank you. Lauren, anything for you on the public side? Okay. We'll move on. Southern Door Fire Department report and updates.
Busy month. Our last meeting was last week, Wednesday, September 11th. The treasurer reported.
Okay. Okay, go.
The treasurer reported in checking $21,255.35. In the money market, $223,119.92. In the 3 CDs that we have at Capital Credit Union, between the three, a total of $211,101.89. For a grand total in cash assets, $455,477.16. He also did report the latest truck loan balance at $215,353.18. I believe last month I reported it was $202,000. It should have been $222,000 last month. That was actually a treasurer's report.
What was that number again? 218?
215,
Oh, 215.
215, 353.
Thank you.
Chief Olson reported that we had 5 fire calls last month. 3 were actual and 2 were canceled upon either them leaving the station or en route. The 2 that were canceled were a oven fire, mutual aid to bug, and a missing child, mutual aid to bug. Those were both canceled before they left the station. On August 2nd, we were called to and responded with an engine, a tender, and a chief to the Carlsville station for standby for a fire at 8213 White Cliff Road, Egg Harbor. It was quite a big residence that was on fire there, so we provided standby. September 3rd, State Highway 42 and Commercial Street in Forestville, a single vehicle accident with minor injuries, provided patient care, traffic control, and roadway cleanup. And September 5th, State Highway 42 and County X, the county line, 2 vehicle accident with injuries, provided patient care, traffic control, and cleanup. 7 EMR calls since August 14th. The stated training in September will be held with small equipment and ladders. The newest brush truck that was purchased a month or so ago is being stored at Chief Olson's residence right now. Until they hope to send the truck off to have the unit fitted in back in the first part of November. Trucks will be moved out of the station during the paving project. I think I'll cover that just a little bit later on, the paving. Jefferson Fire Sales Representatives was notified that we plan to purchase the Scott air packs through them. We're waiting on an order because of a potential combined order with another department to reduce pricing. Make a little better, better deal for, Southern Door Fire Department hosted the stop for the fire and iron motorcycle rides September 7th. 126 motorcycles stop. The weather was beautiful. It was cold in the morning. It was beautiful in the afternoon. Great group of bikers. Did really well. They really enjoyed the booyah. Something warm. It was kind of cool that morning. It was like 44 degrees that morning. So, Fire Prevention Week at Southern Door School will be held Friday, October 11th. And then the open house at the station in Forestville is Saturday, October 12th. And the firefighters picnic is July 26th, 2025. That was the chief's report. The firefighters input. We had some preseason heater and furnace maintenance done in the station. We plan on doing that every year now, preseason, because they found some parts that need to be replaced. In our section, all other matters authorized by law. In the accountant search, we have talked to Ashley Cleveland, the Commercial Builders and Supply. She's we're actually gonna meet with her this Wednesday evening. Just to fill her in a little more, see if she's interested. She does other accountant jobs, but she does not do taxes, income taxes. The blacktop update, the half of the curb has been replaced in front of the fire station by the county. County's dime. The other half will be next week. And we're also planning on ripping up the blacktop next week.
On the apron in front. I mean, the blacktop on the apron in front of
The
you.
whole blacktop, the whole yard.
Okay.
Whole yard. Next week. Should be ripping up, following with paving. We just found that out this morning. It should be sometime next week.
It's gonna be hard to get your trucks up.
The trucks, a couple of them will be stored by Chief Olson,
Okay,
a couple will be stored by yours truly, and a couple by Ryan Master.
okay.
For a couple days, like 3 days after. The generator that was the village of Forestville had offered to pay half of the generator has been shelved. Basically permanently now until the firemen are looking for grants possibly on that. They're working with the Southern North Business Association, something like that. The generator, being that, everybody felt here that it's not a necessity at this time. The CD, we had a CD, the $103,000 CD matured last week. As a board, we approved to redo that CD at this time for a rate of 4.9 for 8 months. The other two CDs come due October 24th and October 27th. The reason okay, so the air pack funding that we talked about last month. It's tabled for now. We're hoping that maybe the feds will reduce the rate. We're looking at possibly financing the $110,000 for the air packs. We're kind of hoping that feds will drop the rates. There's rumors that might happen and we can get a better rate on that. I passed out sheets for final budget numbers. That's not the one that goes in the paper, but the highlighted totals are the categories. If you go down the sheet on the right, those are the ones that will be listed in a column in the newspaper. I don't have a copy with me, I have 4 copies for you guys. Our annual meeting is next week, Wednesday, 6 p.m. Forestville Fire Station. Going through the numbers, last year's was a very guessing estimate for the budget. We came in 26,000 under budget. But then this year we were not expecting the $110,000 air pack expenditure to come in.
So that's in this year's budget, correct?
That is in this year's budget.
I was just gonna say, you put that forward.
How much is your blacktop gonna cost you?
$47,980. Shame to get it all the way from that.
A couple years ago, that we redid their parking lot for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very nice fellow.
Very nice.
Did the county pick up the tab for the curbing there? Is that their part of
The
that?
cement curbing is the county's responsibility.
Okay,
That'll be done, it's half done now.
yeah. I think they're trying to hit all of that blacktop transportation.
While they're in the area.
Yeah, as I go through the road stuff, we're gonna hit the culvert, blacktop, everything at the same time.
And the financial books are available for, upon request for looking at if anybody's interested or, the meeting next week, Wednesday, the 25th.
Fifth or 23rd.
Wednesday.
That's your.
And,
Okay.
and
Monday or Wednesday?
Wednesday.
That's 25th.
Right.
Okay. What time?
6. Might be able to see the new blacktop. Or not.
Yeah, right.
All right, anybody got any questions for you, Lawrence? Okay, thank you, Lauren. We'll move on to the next item. Item number 8, Maplewood Sanitary District.
I have the minutes here from their last meeting, if you'd like to review.
We have the same ones here.
Okay.
Roy, have you heard anything as far as connection up on the county side of any scuttlebutt there?
Last time I heard anything about it was middle of August, there visiting with Stampo. And he was going to a meeting and I didn't hear the results of that last meeting. I'll see him tomorrow. I'll see him Thursday.
Yeah, we're just kind of curious. I mean, I think in the end, that's what's gonna end up happening. It's just gonna be a matter of time.
I thought it was all approved that the DNR was on board with
DNR
us.
is working on pieces of it. I mean, they have to get,
So 42, Joe Bernard Ted called me because we rent his land and said that the county took some of his, or bought, whatever they did, some of his land. And that's what I was assuming it was for.
where is that located?
42 and J, 42 and J.
I have no idea. What they,
Thank you.
from what I found out, that they basically have to put a pressure line in from their gathering point behind the church. Because that's failing,
Sure.
and then that's gotta then be pumped all the way down to the sewage treatment plant in Forestville. And, but it would be still under the auspices of the Maplewood Sanitary District for like 20 years. And ultimately it'll become an extension of the sewage plant in Forestville. Because the thing is that running at about half capacity,
Yeah, but I don't know why the county would,
unless there's a pumping station, you have to have some more.
maybe.
I heard the pumping station somewhere along the line.
There would have to
I'm
be.
not sure.
I'm not sure where, I'm not exactly sure where it is either.
Wouldn't they say right on the highway with that?
That's the last I heard.
That's what I heard.
He's talking, I was talking about.
He said 42, but 42 and something. I
But-
wasn't.
But-
Attention, I guess.
The company that CenturyLink, CenturyTel, is putting in fiber optics. You don't think it's something to do with the fiber optics putting in between Forestville and Maplewood?
Would be.
I haven't heard
Would
anything.
it have something to do with the county though?
They've trenched already fiber backbone up to the CO over there. And it came all the way from,
They should be completed, but
yeah,
Dina, I think you'd be mistaken. County would not be, that would have come through facilities if anything.
Wisconsin DOT
Oh,
bought a very small piece of land on both sides of 42.
DOT, that's nothing to do with the county.
Okay, DOT, sorry,
it's a state.
state.
Department of Transportation, and very likely that's to do with the culverts that are going in 26.
Oh, okay.
There's a culvert going south of Forestville in 2026 and one north of Forestville.
Okay.
That's
Just
probably
what?
what it is.
To serve what? I mean, they just put one in on the main highway, just on the highway.
It's replacing the culverts that are there.
There's some old culverts.
Oh, that, okay, so it's not the county, sorry, I was on the wrong page.
Here you go.
All right,
Interesting.
thank you.
Okay. All right, so now we're updated on the Maplewood Sanitary District. Next item, driveway and town hall rental fees.
So our rental fees for the town hall, we were discussing it at the last meeting and we were thinking of increasing it to $100. And I was thinking if we're gonna do that, if we could just start that like January 1st of 2025. Because right now it's booked through the end of the year. I just don't think it would be fair to increase the fee when the people.
You don't
already
have
it
anybody
booked.
as of next year yet?
No. So I thought we would do that. So in order to
That's
do this,
just the rental for residents. Or is that rental for non-residents?
Non-residents, I thought was 125
so then.
So,
we increase
or
that.
150, or was it 150?
well, that's why I'm asking you a question.
Can we go on the
On the website?
website and just pull up the agreement?
Yeah.
I just think we should follow suit. If we're doing one, we should do the other, just be consistent.
Yes.
So, 75 to 100 is what we're thinking for the town hall for residents of the town and village.
Town hall rent. Let's go. Yeah.
And then is it?
Let me move this over to the screen if you want it up there. Or do you want me just to display that? Can display that? I can get to the right place. So people can see what we are talking about. Share. Can't see, can I see a share on there somewhere? Your share.
No, I don't see a share.
Okay, let me grab this and take it back here. And then I can make it available easier. Okay, share screen. I want to share the screen. Come on.
Do you need to do a resolution to update that?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
just
what I
vote.
was wondering. Do I need to?
Well, no, because what the resolution basically says, fees would be established by the town board.
Right.
Would we resolve then to do that? Let's see.
And I think if you go to the first of the year, you're gonna give enough notice to anybody
Right,
the following year.
yep. So.
You have to put a note, you have to put a note on the website.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Can't get it to the line of
Is it, so
screen.
what is a non-resident right now? That's what you're trying to figure out?
Yeah, is it 125 and that's going to 150? That's what I'm
I
thinking.
think so. I think that's what it is.
Yeah,
But
you don't get too many
can't seem to
non-residents.
make it. Unfortunate.
Somebody knows somebody that's.
Yeah. Usually the village, you know, and they rent it. and we're good to
The
go.
agreement currently says. That's the agreement and the rates.
Okay, what does the rate say?
That's what I gotta find. Wasn't ready for that. Rental, $100 rental fee, cleanup of 50. Non-residents of the town and or village pay 100. And then there's another one for the
They pay 75 right now.
yeah, I think it's cool. But you have to go to the, see, what we have two different things out there. And one of these is the, booking.
Yeah, 75 is what it says there.
Yep,
Okay.
it's
That's gotta be-
75 for the town hall.
Right,
Or you're on the PayGov?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then we gotta talk about the pavilion as well.
Right, because we do separate the two. And we had some conversation about separating the small room from the large room. We've never pursued that yet, as far as this is concerned.
Non-residents pay $100 rental fee
Right now,
Right now.
right now.
right now, but
Yeah,
it's 75 for residents.
correct.
And I think on our last discussion, we were gonna go, you're basically upping it 25.
25, yeah, so
$100 for resident,
to
125 for non-resident. And then there
Yeah.
was discussion about the
Security deposit.
Right.
pavilion.
Yeah, and security deposit will just keep as is, $50. Now the pavilion, should we up that too to 75? I don't know. mean,
What's it-
We don't get too many people that rent that. I mean,
We
just a
have had a
handful.
couple,
Yeah,
but,
just a
but
handful.
that's it. And
Yeah.
that 50 made
50
sense to me. I don't,
Should we
there's
just
not
leave
much
that?
we have to deal with.
Right. Okay, then we just leave,
So,
You might rent it more now.
right.
Especially if their park goes through, we'll
In,
probably have more rental for the park.
we'll see. We'll separate
Yeah.
that.
right,
And
And
that could be
everything's
as of
fine.
first.
1st of January.
Okay,
But if we end up putting bathrooms out there,
Right, then the
Then-
pavilion would
then
the
be.
pavilion will probably go.
Mhm.
Right,
lot.
then we might want to increase it.
But you can always look at that.
Yeah. take a look at that. So
Right.
2025,
once that park work
I
and
know.
the trail interconnect are all together,
Mhm.
I know,
then I think that has to be revisited.
right,
But right now, if, all we wanted to do was raise the non-resident rental fee to 125 and the resident fee to 100
yep, correct.
and make it effective January 1st,
Mhm.
then the other thing we need to do is bring in concert two places where we have the information. What's happening is people are not using the old form that we have on the website with the rental agreement fill out.
Mhm.
They're doing it online. And we've had
Okay.
a number, almost all of your rentals now are through online.
Mhm.
So, by making it effective the 1st of January, then we'll have time to get both of those in place and in sync.
Right,
Because right now, our online digital services is showing the current rate, but the paper thing
sure, shows a difference,
is,
yeah.
have you had any?
The next two were online. There's 2 more bookings in September. In October, one person called me, so there'll be one in October. The busy month is December, right around Christmas. There's like
Mhm.
5, 6,
Right,
7.
but they're all already reserved
Well, yeah, everybody's reserved to the end of the year.
and they paid.
Um,
Most of them,
not the Christmas ones, but
not the Christmas
Yeah,
ones, but all the
every-
others.
yeah,
that you-
all the others.
They
yeah.
called you, right?
Yeah,
For all the Christmas stuff.
yeah,
ones?
yeah, it's reserved. And one person likes to pay cash, so I know she'll be paying me when she
Okay.
reserves it, you know.
You do have the card reader too, if they want to pay cash
Right,
or pay with a card.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we either get a pay card, there's, how many pay cash? A few?
2 or 3, a few, yeah. That's what they prefer, so I'm like,
That's
just put it
fine.
in the box.
Well,
you're
that's
good to go.
fine.
Yeah, so.
Okay. Well, I'd make that into a motion that we raise the rates for rental of the town hall effective January 1st, 2025. For residents of the village and the town to $100. For non-residents to $125. And for the pavilion, we'll allow that to remain at $50 with the same cleanup deposit.
I second that motion. Still a very reasonable
Mhm.
venue if you look
Yes.
around. locally,
Yeah, I mean, I think we have a nice town hall. Not as nice as the $1 million ones up north, but hey, ours is paid. for, So So we have a motion made by Larry to raise the fees for the resident to 100 and the non-resident to 125, and a second by Jason. All in favor? Oh, effective January 1st of 2025. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, that will carry. Okay. So the driveway ordinance. Did you guys get a chance to look at that? There's a lot going on. It was a short month.
Weeks ago. No, I'm very honest, no, I have not. But I do know when you gave me that slip of information with regard to the application form. Again, that's the same situation that we
Yeah.
are having with this. You're getting stuff digitally and it's a different structure than what they're doing with the paper for most.
It is so convenient. Now that we're operating it and understand it. How, when they go online. It is 100 times better.
Mhm.
Gone back and forth, you wanna do the inspection, because you'll have that map from the GIS. Basement is
It's all
there,
there. Yep.
everything is there,
Right,
it's easy.
but that's the paper side of it where there's discrepancies. Again,
Correct.
just like
Correct.
with this.
Right, and, but, you know, we can fix that if, you know.
Yeah, yes, we
We'll make
can.
some of these and.
Yeah.
And change the features.
But I have not had an opportunity and I was wanting to go through this. When we do those changes, I want to go through this with Teresa and web people to make sure we've got all the elements in place.
Okay,
Yeah, so I did look at the way you have that written, and I did like the way it's written.
I did, yes, what I looked at the day after we had our meeting, I looked at that and I thought, oh, yeah, pretty good.
But my only concern was the difference in prices between the two Gov and their.
Right, there is. There's discrepancies.
and again, you could do the same thing of,
Mhm.
if we change the ordinance we have.
Mhm.
And the
Right.
fee increase could take effect the first of the year, giving
Exactly.
enough
Right.
people
And we could-
notice,
Yep,
and
and we
you
could
could
get,
then update, when we're updating one, you're updating, right, you're in, you might as well just tweak the rest of it.
have them do both.
Right.
Mhm.
Do both the town hall rental
Mhm.
Yep.
on both the paper as well as the online. Have them redo the rate.
So I didn't print mine out, this is the current one, right?
Yeah, this is the one with the comment.
Right. You see, and I like the way this is written. I mean, I went through this whole thing but I didn't on my phone. So anyway,
Yeah, right.
but my thoughts are, I mean, at this point, we could actually adopt this ordinance. But again, make it effective after January 1st.
Well, we have to have it fully printed. I mean,
Well, right, this is the draft, but,
this is what I would call
right,
a work in
Right.
progress.
Yeah.
right, but I mean, that's what I'm saying, is
Yeah.
once we have it drafted, we could then definitely approve that right away.
Right.
Yeah, but in order to get a final, you know, we're gonna need the input of, yep, we like it, we don't like it, or.
Yeah.
We should strike one or not strike it.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, so I think we gotta pull this, change this to restructure it. And what's it really gonna look like when it's finished? I mean, I know the intent was here. I quite frankly hadn't had a chance to go through all the detail, but the parts I did go through, perfect. As far as I'm concerned. Who made all the comments on here?
Jan would make the comments.
Okay, And she's the one that had picked up some of these pieces that we had missed.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, she don't miss much.
No, did an incredible job on it. I like
Very
it.
good.
Very good.
Pretty much
I'm
nothing.
thinking we could hire her to do all of our. I was ready to hire her.
She also had an error on the here. Okay, well, I'll touch base.
But, yeah. Okay, so what do we want to do with this? Do we want
Well,
to table
the
this?
fee at this point is a $20 fee. And it does not offset our costs because you make 2 trips at
Correct.
least.
Yep,
And what were you gonna recommend as a fee?
$50, I would say. You're gonna at least cover the cost. So the far ones, you may not, based off of if there's something goofy
Yeah.
going on. But then the other ones, so in the end, it should kind of all wash out.
Okay.
Not, because I'm not. I know the township's supposed to make money, but I don't think we should just make a fee for the fun of making a fee.
No,
If there's a cost there, we cover the cost of it and that's
well,
what it
all
is.
right, yeah, because you're going out there. You have the initial inspection, then you have the after you approved it, then you go back out and validate that it was correct.
And then we go and there's gotta be a part on this little application of. I tell them, you gotta, in my stuff here, you gotta let me know when this is done. I gotta
Right, but we
final.
don't have
But
that.
now
outlined in
correct. Correct, we'll fix that and change it.
Right, right.
But then you have, you have I can't really say a permit, but you have like an occupancy permit
Right.
type thing, compliance. You've complied with what you said you were gonna do and everything
Well,
matches.
that's what you're doing, you're
And
going
that's
out.
what, and then I'll send them an email. The Hayco stuff.
Yeah.
So it's online and whatever else.
Right, because we can respond via that.
Right.
And
And then
that's
it's
what
on
you're doing.
record, right? It's on
Yeah.
record and it's.
And that's
easy.
what you're doing.
Correct.
Yeah.
You've complied with everything, you're compliant and you're good to go,
Okay.
as far as the town is concerned. So. Are we looking at tabling this until next month to get some time to relook at it? What do you guys wanna do?
Well, because then we'd have to, we have to have an actual document that's just what we have, not the extra verbiage on there.
Correct. You got it. If you're
Right.
okay with it, I
I'm
can
okay
change
with
it, but I can't okay it if we're gonna change it
Right.
again.
I think what did not go through thoroughly,
Mhm,
and I'll admit to that.
mhm.
We
But
didn't have a lot of time, so it isn't like we had.
and
it's been a busy month.
happened since. So my suggestion is that we put it into a revised ordinance. We'll rescind and replace the existing ordinance and have a full ordinance with a $50 fee in there.
Mhm.
Or we can say, the fee will be established by the town board, but we should have that full ordinance in place. And then we can add that $50 effective the first of the year.
Yep.
And that wouldn't be a problem if we did that in October.
Okay,
I would think that was.
so then I would like, if you guys looked at it, I think Jason had time to look
Yeah,
at
I
it a little bit.
Yeah.
Larry, if you got an opportunity, if you could look, and if there's anything you
And
want
make
to
any
change,
comments.
let the clerk know so that I
Will
can
do.
edit it and have it for
Okay.
next meeting.
Okay.
We sat in the airports for hours and hours. That's it.
So
The only thing I brought to read.
I had-
That's what you do in the airport.
Is that between your runs?
Between my runs, I'm going across America.
That runs across America. Yeah, that's right. You went out west. You went to the coast.
Yeah. we
Okay.
did that.
After last
We went
month's
to the
meeting.
west. Yeah, it was crazy.
Okay. So that's it.
Next meeting, we will update the ordinance.
Okay. So that'll be one that we put down for.
Yep.
At the bottom. And for next month.
Okay, formation of the ad hoc committee for the town park improvements. So where we're at there is we are collecting estimates right now. We got some for what the cost would be to put the gravel down and bring the trail into here. But I still need to get one for seeding it, because it's gotta be seeded on the sides. And then what the tree cost would be, and we'll talk to the Schmidt family and find out, hey, 'cause we're thinking like a maple type tree, almost what they got sitting out here. I would think Randy would find that, except if they're not dirty. Agree 100% with you, Roy, of this. But until that was surveyed, I never really knew what it was, and honestly, it was like this, which makes it very hard, and if he's grading. Maybe he can cut that a little bit, so it's a little more gentle for a lawn cut. Up to that.
Don't we have a concrete bump in the corner?
No, it's not there, but I thought the grass cutter was gonna cut on the other side of the trees, but flat on the other side of the tree. But apparently the grass cutter-
Yeah, but it kind of goes goofy, right? So the field is nice, and then it's like that little,
Yeah, that was a big. There was a big hole in that corner,
Yes, sir.
and we filled that. When we put the playground, in. So that's how it got level. Yeah, that was a big trashy spot, we had a whole fence in there.
There was a concrete foundation in there. There was all kinds
From
of,
the old,
yes, yeah. That was all removed.
yes, most of it, maybe it was on.
I don't know.
Is that tree in the corner been replaced? It looks smaller.
I don't think anybody's replaced anything.
Okay, I went and took the plastic off, so I'm wondering. But that looked like that's a sugar maple. Must be a bigger tree. I thought it looked like it's all small. I'm wondering.
Well, maybe it's, I don't know how they all grow, but maybe if it's supposed to be a taller tree, it's a smaller type thing.
Aren't those supposed to be autumn blaze?
There's
Most of them.
Yeah, there's what? I think there's 7 trees and yeah, there's
Okay.
one sugar maple in a corner and the rest of.
Okay.
So anyway, maybe at that point in time, we could look at just making that a lot better so that the grass kind of can be right up to the field, so. And then even when you're,
Well,
there's,
yeah.
there's no question, right? There it is, just cut right to the edge of the line. It's clean all the time.
You're aware of what's going on with this
I heard good things.
connect from, that's
Yeah.
donated land, connect to the, state trail.
Mhm.
Then there's also the issue of, playground equipment. She's got some
Yeah.
money. We'll be replacing the playground equipment. There's other amenities that are gonna be a component of that. And I, since last month's meeting, got question about camping, the people who walk and want to stay overnight. And we talked a bit about an outside, trailing facility, so those are open. And there's a whole realm of things that are going to go on in the town park. So I think as we get further into that and we have the committee looking at the details of all of that and the financing.
Well, and that's the big thing, so, you know, once the numbers are together,
Then you get grants.
now we start to go for grants and ask for donations and things of this nature, but until we can get all the numbers together, it's, and I know she wants to go right away, but life just doesn't work that way, especially in the government side of things. It's like, are you kidding?
But yeah,
I
that's,
wish- I wish.
and that we could grade, make that all a piece of the work that has to be done.
Yeah, yes, right.
Grants, the Raybrook, don't ever forget the Raybrook.
They were already here.
Okay, good. They
Yeah.
gave us part of the money for playground equipment.
She got that.
Forestville Maplewood Lions Club provided for the pavilion. Back in 2003, I think the total cost was around $25,000. The Forestville Maplewood Lions Club also provided for the present playground equipment that's been there since 2011. Also, Forestville Maplewood Lions Club provided for 50% of the trees that are here. So what I'm asking is that when you get this all put together, make sure you contact me or
Yeah.
somebody. And that brings up another point. We're having a gala,
Fundraiser.
fundraiser, and on the
Oh, look at you.
last Thursday of August, of October, rather. And it's a Jason and Teresa were part of it for many years, but they don't come anymore. They're not-
It was a conflict of our
But
schedule.
it's great fun. It's a good heck of an event. It includes, so if you are interested, please give me a call.
Be nice to attend this event and actually have fun at it.
Give me a call and get your tickets. If you order your tickets early by September 15th. But that's passed, we can't do it.
Passed,
Okay,
yeah.
that's past today, the 16th.
Yeah, it's past the 15th.
So we,
Today's the 16th.
Yeah. we can, we went to a bigger place this year, so
Where's the,
Oh, you didn't, where are you going?
we're going to the gala.
Where is that?
That is the,
Old Pomida.
that's your Pomida place, that's your new ex.
Oh, right next to.
Oh,
Perfect.
Yeah.
Huge place.
nobody knows the gal, but you say the Sandbox, we all.
Really?
Well,
Wasn't it
funny thing
Gibson
is, everybody at this table knew where Pomida was.
Wasn't it
It
really
was
Gibson? Yeah.
Or
Gibson's
Save a
a-
Buck, or what was it?
Yeah, Save a Buck,
Save a
yeah.
Buck.
Save a
Yeah.
Buck, Save a Buck in Pomida, I know right where you're
Yeah,
talking.
the shipyard bought it.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
the Scott Burley and Steve Estes.
Yep.
Operation.
So now is this like the food catered in? How does this work?
No, they're
Kirby?
providing the meal.
They're providing the
And
meal.
it's supposed to be better than we had before, so they're really excited.
But you can do this without having to do the meal. You can just come, just show up and just buy the tickets, right?
No,
You gotta do the meal too?
you can buy a ticket without including the meal.
Okay.
You can't show, you can't. be
Right,
present.
right.
We have another ticket for that.
Okay,
But if you come, you have the orange ticket. which includes the meal.
perfect. Gotcha. Okay.
But if you're interested, contact me. And so getting back to your plan for the town park, we have a gem right here. But you're pursuing it.
Yeah.
It's always a little problem we have here, we have to put a town hall and
Right.
always.
Yeah, it's not a good thing. If we can pull that off, I think it'd be a whole lot better.
Then you can start doing more events that you're talking.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Rock concerts and.
Yeah.
Oh, think about 4th of July. You have a concert going on out there?
Okay, listen.
We need a
listen.
band and then the fireworks.
Yeah.
and life
What
is
about the
great.
bouncy house and what about the beer tent? We've gone through this. That's up to the athletic club.
By the way, the first Maple Lions Club already contributed for the fire. 2025.
I understand that. Thank you.
So this camping thing, just, so even you can hear. From my understanding, because I get several calls on this, this is a camp of, we're walking the trail. And we happen to be
Exactly.
dead center of the two campsites where they are, so it's like
Right.
20 miles, we're 10.
Yep.
So they do their 10-mile hike and they might show up 6, 7 at night.
Yep.
5, whatever. We put up our tent, we camp, boom, right away in the morning, we're back on the road while it's cool and we go down the trail.
Yep.
So this isn't,
Not a.
let's have the kids
campground.
camping here and we're sitting here all night, this is. And maybe that's just how you have to word it, that, we're okay with that type of thing, but we're not okay with you staying here for days or 24 hours type thing.
Right,
This is part of your trail walk,
right.
like a pilgrimage, and I've had pilgrimage stop at my office, and people do that. I mean, if I didn't know, I said, well, just go camp by my place, you're fine.
Yeah.
And then you leave in the morning, and they did, because they're walking the trail.
There's a lot of people who do that.
Mhm.
You don't really realize, there's a lot of people who run the Ice Age Trail, they walk it,
Yep.
and they walk
Yeah, for like, it's really super long.
1,200 miles. or
Yes.
something.
Which brings me to this question. Do we have like lights out here that are like, I notice the lights are on all the time.
So the
Tonight-
lights that light will be on dusk to dawn,
Yeah.
right? These lights, if you leave on, are daylight, meaning as soon as the
Oh.
daylight comes on, they'll shut off.
Well, I like that.
So if it's on, it doesn't make any difference.
Right.
It's LED, costs you nothing, you're
Yep.
on, and this light is on all the time. That's the yard.
Oh, that's
I saw
nice.
that, I like
That's
that.
very nice.
Right.
Yeah.
Cause we kept thinking we left the lights on at one
Yeah.
point. We're like, no.
Yep, so even if you do, I know,
Mhm.
it's like, wow.
Well, it's nice having lights.
By morning, it'll be gone, so don't worry about it.
Because in the past, we never had a lot of lights back here, so then when you don't know who's here or what's going
Yeah.
on, you got little
Mhm.
kids playing out there yet, so. I like the fact that there's lights there now, so.
I came through 1:30 in the morning, on Sunday. And 4 teenagers walking up and down each. And 1:30 in the morning. Which surprised me. I did not expect that.
Which is funny, isn't there an officer that lives right there?
No, they were past, Mill Road. They were down that way towards Steve's place. So I don't know who it was or they were, but there were two guys and two girls and they're just kind of walking and having fun.
If you weren't doing anything
1:30
wrong,
in the morning.
are you kidding me? That's when those guys are up and running.
Yeah.
The problem is 7 in the morning now, we don't wanna talk to you anymore.
7 till
They're like second shift.
Whatever. Amazing me.
Cemetery report.
Been an interesting month. Just share with you the kinds of things that I do get. I got this email the other day. Somebody's trying to do a little genealogy. Father told us that my great-great-grandmother is buried in Brock House, but she doesn't have a headstone. Trying to track down death records hasn't been very successful. Is it possible she's buried next to her son Gottlieb Schley, my great-grandfather? Can you tell me who owns the plot next to Gottlieb to the north? If it is indeed Gottlieb, then he probably buried his mother next to him.
He was already gone.
I know. This is the second or third one like this. The first one I had commented, I think I commented about last month, of this Perry. And he wanted to be buried by his great-great-grandfather's plot. There's plots out there, Perry plots, several of them. And I didn't know what was what. I took pictures down there, the headstones and stuff like that. And the guy said he wanted to have his cremains buried in the Perry plot by his great-great-great-grandfather, which I already have done that with another one done. And so I said, well, our procedures are that you can have casketed full body burial plus a cremation in the same lot. You'd still have to pay your opening fee and another perpetual care fee. But is this eminent? Do you need to have this right now? No, I just wanted to make sure that I know that we can do that. So I went back to him just last week. He's in California right now. And it's not eminent, but he's planning. So, okay, fine. Well, and now this one just came in. And this is the kind of questionings you get. And Roy, you were on the cemetery committee for a good amount of time. And Jason, you're helping us now with some of that. We're finding that we have interest in some of these burial plots. And but they know they're not produced. I have somebody else who wants to buy lots, but they don't buy. Not yet. I suspect when somebody gets sick or something develops, then all of a sudden I'm gonna have this kind of land rush of people showing up. So beyond that, I don't think we have a problem. The cemetery's looking good. Both of them, you know, and I get compliments on the way the cemeteries look. Have you done the ditch down there? It looks
No.
good. Well, of course, we haven't had
No rain.
no rain. That's helpful. So cemetery always has things happening, but they're all interesting, that type of stuff. It's phone calls, emails, or people see me asking questions about cost and can I purchase one? Yes.
So do we have records on all of that or a site layout?
Oh, we have maps, and we have records, and sometimes they're very difficult to untangle. As we found out, because people are buried in the wrong place.
Where are those records kept?
I have them and I bring them into the,
There.
in here.
Okay.
So there's a master book, and then there are two other books out there. Jim Jajarski has one, as well as Jeff Hans.
Okay.
And so I keep them posted every spring and fall when we do our cleanup or, you know, getting ready. I give them updated version. Not just the sheets they insert or change. So yeah, there's records and there's 3 copies of those records.
Okay.
So, and we do have maps. So,
That's good to know.
you know, it's been a lot of it was handwritten. I've taken and digitized a lot of that. Well, you had some of them, and I gave your book now to Jeff Hansen. So anyway,
All right.
that's cemetery reports. I always like to report that it's kind of dead. No
Broadband.
complaints.
So we talked a little bit about broadband.
Broadband. I got another call from on broadband today. I gave you guys information last month. Jessica Hatch has sent me some more information, this week. They're at the point now where they're into this, allocating these Lego blocks. And you were right, Roy, the northeast corner of our township is serviced by another incumbent carrier. And I think it was AT&T. And so we're not sure how that piece is gonna go. But what Jessica said in her update, and there's quite an extensive amount of information from the Public Service Commission, is they have not defined or validated the eligible locations. However, Southern Door communities have all either unserved or underserved. And for the bulk of the communities, Russell's, Union, Gardner, and Forestville, we qualify in almost completely for all of those locations. What they need to do is we're going to have to take some action at some point here in the next month or two. They have a deadline of December the 18th to file the ISPs, to file their proposed projects.
Brightspeed, you're saying?
Oh, this is going out for bid, so it could be Brightspeed, but it could be anybody. And they can bid. Chances are good, the incumbent carrier, in this case Brightspeed, will be the one that bids on Forestville. We've committed to them that if they do, we'll enter into a contract, and we've already have passed a resolution saying, and we will fund it to that 800,000, 890,000.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of the eligibility map has been sent in for approval. And they basically look like the things that we have. The Wisconsin Broadband Office is recommending completion of this endorsement of the maps by December 18th at the latest. So the ISPs need to finalize maps with project units, Lego blocks, however you want to call it, that they're talking about now. So they can make their decision as to what projects they'll be bidding on. The estimate to be published by the beginning of October. I know many things are also have on your budget meeting in October, so this will line up well depending on your board meeting date. November would be the latest to get on this on your agenda to ensure that it is in the minutes, so you can provide documentation for your ISP partner for their auction application, which they have to have in December. So there's nothing more than that available to me now, but that's something that we'll be dealing with in the next 2 months. And when we get it, it's going to be one of those things that we have to move.
Yeah.
So, I mean, is there anything different, Roy?
Nothing that you're getting more info than I do. You see, it's so big.
Okay, well, I've talked to Jessica and she's available. She's doing a good job, my perspective, for what we have encountered. And she was always on that ad hoc committee too.
Yes.
Is the ad hoc committee still
They're
functioning?
still there, yeah, that last week.
Okay, good. So anyway, we will get more, and I got a phone call from someone today, with regard to, do you know when?
Right.
Okay, is there
Maybe-
anything as a town that like we need to do?
No.
You're doing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been taking the lead, getting it
Okay.
going.
Yeah.
We already have this, letter of, or signed
Right.
agreement, but we will have to maybe move that into an actual contract. But there's gonna be issues that we're gonna need to have, and I mentioned this last month, we'll have to have Randy or someone review the contracting for it, because of that, it'll affect our right of way. It'll affect a lot of things. So the contract will become important once they select that they're going to do the work. But that's not,
Isn't that what we did? Part of the,
Part of
it's first time
part of
around? I mean, that was part of the agreement.
that
Yeah,
was,
this is what
that
it
was
is.
part of it. So it's for all intents and purposes, we committed. But we don't have any actual contract to agree. They can go into our right of way, that they can go put the fiber in, that they can go to every one of these drop points. That's what the intent is. That's what we said in that agreement. But it's not a contract committing them to spend money or for us to borrow money to spend.
Well, yes, but at that point, they were telling us in order to get the funds,
They needed,
couldn't be in contract, right? We didn't want you to be in contract at that point. Or the
well, we
federal government.
wanted to choose who we want. That's what we did. So that was a recommendation from the ad hoc committee, looking at
Yep.
all of the vendors. We chose them because they were 50% under everybody else. And now it's between the Public Service Commission, the Wisconsin Broadband Office. And ultimately, when they have this auction of units that they're going to build out, it'll typically go to the incumbent carriers, and that would be Brightspeed. And we positioned ourselves so that when the day they get that commitment, that we are ready to go. We didn't put it to referendum as other towns did, and they turned it down. But they can still go, but they're then going to have to start from where we were. So this town is in position with our agreement, but we don't have a contract. And they don't have a commitment to say, do it. Because it's all caught up with the Public Service Commission in Wisconsin Broadband.
Which is the ones with the money.
Yeah, the federal money.
Right.
Yeah. So that's a long story with no information. Well, I mean, I don't even know how to say it, but that's really, and I'm continually in contact with Jessica and others on this stuff. I talked to Shipper, and he said, well, I'm waiting for my approval from the National Internet Telecommunications, whatever.
We're waiting for the federal government to
That's
release the funds, to tell us what we gotta do to get them.
The funds are available, what, 1.56 billion? Yeah. For Wisconsin,
Well, yeah, but you gotta.
but it's gotta come through the Wisconsin and office and the Public Service Commission. Oh, no,
Everybody's gotta touch it.
everybody's gotta have a hand.
Okay, item number 13, HeyGov and website update.
Yeah, not only did we have trouble with some of those forms for the ordinances and the rental of the town hall, but we also had a problem with the cemetery page. And I found that out after the fact, and I got that fixed as well. So what was happening is if anybody was going to send an email to Jeff Hansen on the cemetery committee, you were going to get it. It's been fixed. Town web,
There's a glitch.
but you didn't get any
Nope.
because nobody tried sending it.
No,
Jeff
I would
Hansen.
have called somebody and said, hey, something's not right.
On the website, it says from the 40@centralbell.net. And yet when you clicked it, it said share at forestvilletown.wi.gov. So it was an editing error. Talked to them, they fixed it. And I was in conversation with them on this billing came in. We had an initial billing that had come through for, what was that initial billing? I can't even remember. Anyway, I had worked with them and said, look, you guys, HeyGov does one thing, Town Web does something else. Justin Overbeck owns them both. We at the town want one bill for your HeyGov and your town, website and your digital services.
That was a while ago.
Yeah. The bill came.
Yep.
Right. But it wasn't complete when it first came. I think, did you contact me with that?
Mhm.
Yeah, so I contacted them and this thing is due today.
Mhm. Yeah, we have to check.
And, okay, I said I want the bill, in hand with everything prorated so that it comes up at one time a year for the HayGov and the website, town web. And they did that. So I finally have gotten that one squared away. And the next piece on this is that I need to not only have some coordination between the digital services and the website, but then I gotta get together with Teresa and start going through the process. She's still working with clerk minutes. And did you read the first batch of clerk minutes?
Hey, that was a long version. That was due this month. That's why I put it out there.
Well, that's why I said. That
They're
was
like, it was
bad.
too wordy, Teresa. I'm like, I just thought.
Wordy. It didn't even make sense.
So,
Yeah,
yeah, so,
you should have read this thing. It was like insanity.
Why all of a sudden it changed?
She
Some
took a
of-
different option. They gave her a
some
new
of the
option. She
people who have
tried it.
clerk minutes wanted a longer version of their minutes because they have longer.
Sure.
Yeah, so that
And
they
it was a
provided
very,
that option this
very,
month. Yeah,
I mean, it felt like you were dealing with the government.
I thought it was nice.
Well, it-
That's why I put it up there. I liked it.
That's what I said. No, wait a minute.
You're like,
This
"Too
thing
wordy."
was
I'm like,
loaded
"Okay,
up
we'll do
with
the
so
short."
much.
Did the medium again. So we're
Yeah, this is good. This is good. Thank you.
good.
So anyway, that seems to be working pretty well, isn't it?
Yep, it's
For you?
working awesome. Yeah,
Okay,
just whenever you have time, contact me.
yeah, we're gonna start, hopefully, things are gonna settle down. At least I'm planning on it, so. We'll get it, and we'll get Teresa up to speed on some of these other things. You've been posting things directly. But we still have, the problem we didn't have is we didn't send the notification out, which is okay. I sent the notification based on the addition of the block of Zoom meeting minutes.
Okay.
We'll get into that through some training. So that's the end of that. There's a lot going on, and it's good. We're keeping on top of it, but there's a lot to do.
Yes, there is. Correspondence. Do we have any correspondence?
Other than seeing if they can be very, but. Briefly.
I don't think it-
No,
And I didn't have any this time either, which is
Mhm.
okay. Road work updates. The Commission of Public Land Application. So now
Remember this?
we're gonna be
Thing.
blacktopping,
yeah,
this
Yep.
week. So that's not far away. So by the end of this month, they'll be complete. And then that bill will fall into place. So I don't know when you guys, if we want to.
Roy, when we did that, the last time we talked about, they were turning these things around like in 2 weeks.
Yes, they were here, but you have to pay the bill first.
So I understand it.
And your check came back real fast once.
But-
Commissioner,
No, what we're talking about is borrowing the
The
money.
borrowing of the money.
yeah,
Mhm.
So we'd have to borrow the money to pay the bill. We don't have the bill. Once we get the bill, what do we have? 30 days to pay the bill?
Well, Dina, when the county sends the stuff over, how much time do we have?
It's a lot longer than 30 days.
usually 60 days.
Yeah.
By then you get when it's.
So once we get the bill, we'll be fine. I mean, cause some of it you're paying already, like they did the tree removal,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah,
But whatever,
that was small stuff.
Because
yes, we'll get a lump.
usually we get it in the middle of the month from the prior month.
Right.
And then by the time we pay it.
Right.
So I don't know.
2 months.
So my question is this,
Yes, 'cause
they're gonna do the
Yes,
paving this
yeah.
week?
Yep.
So we're in the middle of September. How long then when would we expect the bill to cover this? Would it be- It'd probably be November before we get the bill?
Oh, yeah, because she's just
Right.
paying the July one
Okay,
this
July.
month.
okay.
We're in,
So
We're in
what
September.
yeah,
we have 2 years to pay this thing, right?
whatever.
To get it
term-
done, we're getting it
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
So we'll get that bill probably in November.
I'm thinking December.
No, you'll get the bill from the county in November.
Yes, that's
But
what I'm
you
saying.
have 60 days.
If they
to
do
pay
it, if they do the work in October, We won't get it till
They're
December.
doing it now.
Oh, they're doing it now in
They're
September.
Well, they're gonna be blacktopping
Right.
Yeah.
this
Tomorrow.
week.
Okay.
This
I think
one.
you're still safe. It's gonna be practice.
Yeah.
By the time you get that bill.
Depends where the cutoff is. It
Depends
depends.
if they want their money.
Yeah.
Well,
that too.
right. But what I'm saying is whenever we get the bill, we know what we have and what we've expended and what we need to borrow to cover it. That's when we make our application to the Bureau of Land
Okay.
Commissioners.
Cause you're saying that takes like 2 weeks to get once we filled up it.
For
The
the,
Bureau, that you get almost the same week, that goes real fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
They
Then
send
there's no reason to borrow it any sooner. I agree.
No.
Okay.
so that's
Have money
exactly
and
right.
sit on it.
So in
We don't need
September,
the interest for that.
Let's see where the interest rates go. That's why I said we've got the application.
Yep.
Teresa has got it properly completed. We don't have a number to put in there. And we really don't know what it's going to be
No,
until
we
we
don't.
get billed.
Nope, agree.
We can take care of that after we get the bill.
Okay.
so you want that on November's agenda?
We'll still talk about it.
We'll just talk about it each month.
Each
because
month,
We'll
we'll
find
talk.
out whatever trickles in here.
Yeah, but no, we don't have to make that application yet.
Okay, road work right of way
And that'll be associated with
with the broadband
some
stuff,
of the
right?
broadband stuff. We still need to keep that active so that we can, if we need
Yep.
to address something and get, I gave you an ordinance, sample ordinance that Sebastopol is using. If you don't have a good ordinance for the right of way, then what you'll end up with is a disturbed right of way that's not restored properly.
Well, that includes in driveways then too. Wouldn't it?
Well, the right of way, I mean,
You
anything
know,
in
the
that right
ditch
of
when you
way.
bring the cabling through. Cause I know it's like even like in the town of Clay Banks, they're cutting through driveways and I don't, who's gonna pay the locals?
That's got to be addressed in your,
In
in
the
your
ordinance.
contract and in your right of way. And that's what Sebastopol had put into that thing I gave you guys.
Mhm.
We're gonna have to have that before they start tearing things up.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely, because we can't make it afterward. We gotta do that before we even sign the
Right.
contract.
Exactly.
It's-
That's exactly right. So, yes, that stays on, but we haven't got anything yet on that effective, or, you know, that we can do, take action.
Item C, update on South Forest Drive. So the culvert has been replaced. Looks great. Everything is good. Blacktop will happen when we do the other roads. Fire department gets done all at the same time. The guardrail is there. I did try to call to find out where am I supposed to put that over there? At the tower, but nobody picked up. So it's still over there waiting to be picked up, which is the two sides and the guardrail.
Oh, okay.
Because there's no reason for us to get rid of our guardrail. We might need it somewhere. I buy
Right.
another one because
Right.
it's in great shape. It's like new.
Well, yeah, we just.
So I don't know. I mean, if you have time, it would be
I could
awesome.
Go over and pick it
Put
up.
it on a trailer, bring it over there, because you know that area
Yep.
way better than I do, and say, here, this would be a good spot for it, and put it down.
Yeah, I can do that.
Thank you. That would be very.
I was gonna do it the other day when I drove past and why is this, and then I thought, I'll wait
Yeah,
until I'm told.
because I didn't.
Cause if I take off the guardrail, somebody's gonna see it and say, well, there it is.
The update on Old Krieger and County Line, I think we've talked about that a few times. I did have a meeting with Tom from the other township, Amity,
Tom Vanapee, yeah.
yeah, and I'm hoping to maybe possibly get something, so he's got all the stuff in hand. And he'll bring it to his board and see if they're willing to do anything,
I
but
mean, making that class B
no,
or paving.
no, helping pay for percentage of their half of the road or
Oh. Oh, yes, that's a good group to work.
so we'll see what happens if we're able to get anything, and if not, we knew what we were in for, so.
Right.
The road needed to be done. The county line and old substation road class B. We need to make a resolution to change that so that those two roads can be added onto
Become
the
class.
Class B, correct? Yep. Would somebody be able to help take care of that?
Can do that.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'll look that over. Have it ready for next month?
Yeah.
Right, perfect.
Sounds good. The Idlewild update, so, as we went through, Nassau is taking the lead on that. And we are just a secondary type thing, just because we have such a small portion of it.
Half a mile.
Yes, such a small portion. So everything is coming into play. Skylar is writing up the grant. But then if the grant doesn't get accepted, you're still gonna have fees, which we talked about.
We
And
talked about
we'll be
that.
paying a little percentage of, you know, how it all breaks down. So, and if it does go through, hey, all the better for everybody. Then that road can be taken care of,
All the
no
way to the
problems,
intersection.
all the way to the
Nature.
intersection like it should be.
Yep, okay, sounds good.
So that's what I have on road updates. Payment of bills.
These are the checks for the
Oh,
month.
yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen
I just
Well-
circulated them right now.
So
You
here,
can sign them and pass them to Larry.
Turn in the bill. Look at my folder.
so here is a bill. Again, this is for a culvert on Old Krieger. Okay, so let me give a little history on how this took place.
Okay,
This is gonna be us and then it's not gonna be us. They're gonna pay for it. Give you an update. The ditch had to be dug out on that section where we are. So they applied, because I told them he has to get a culvert in there because you can't cut through the ditch line anymore. It's not an option. All right,
Which
so
road?
Butch, this is gonna be on Old
Old
Creek.
Krieger, okay, okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
Butch Steiner rents it and I don't. I talked to the owner, whatever. So I told him, I said, you gotta get an application, and we gotta, you gotta get a culvert. Yep, so he did all of it. I said, I don't want you to put your culvert until the ditch is dug up. Why would you do that? That would just be goofy.
Yeah.
Right, because you don't know the heights, you're gonna wreck everything. Okay, well, then they held off, and they held off, right? Boom, now the county starts. And they're going to town.
Yeah.
And they're digging. So then I called and they said, hey, I need to get your culvert laid down. And he's like, Kevin, we just started chopping. We don't,
We don't have time for this.
I can't deal with this right now. He said, kid, can you get a culvert over there? We'll pay for it. And just have the county
No.
put the driveway in and we'll pay for that part. He said, I'm assuming they won't take advantage of me. And I said, the county won't charge us any more than what it costs them to do it.
The field access.
Just for the drive.
Yep.
So, because of us in the construction side, we have an account over at Green Bay Highway Products. So I called and had a culvert dropped off. And Tony did the work and Randy asked, you want me to make sure that all that stuff is set? Yep. And Butch says, just send us the bill and we'll pay. Not gonna be an issue.
Okay.
So this is the bill.
You're paying for.
Correct, right, so this, correct, and the reason I'm trying to do it like this, when the other bill comes. And we could have them pay for it in two pieces, it really makes no difference. But if there would ever be a problem, you'll just put it on his taxes and he'll pay for it anyway, one way or another.
I see what you did here.
Right, because that's the actual invoice.
This is the actual invoice. This is how we're gonna be billed.
Right.
Did you write a check for this?
No, I just got this like today,
Let
just
me
got
see.
this today, so.
No, I did not.
That's not a problem. I understand that, but I wanted to see the invoice from the vendor too.
Oh, yeah, because after the last thing with the refrigerator, right, I didn't know that's how it needed to be.
Yeah,
Then we got,
exactly.
the girl just handed it right to me, and she said, this is what they want. I said, okay, looks
But
great.
have you looked at this stuff?
I did.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm gonna go this way.
It goes to, yeah,
Oh, yeah, this one I'll think you should sign.
yeah, I just,
And this one is, our quarterly.
yeah,
Yeah, that has to be done. Can't walk away from that.
So it's like,
that's a monthly bill we get from them,
Really?
yeah.
Mhm. Which one are you questioning?
or the Associated Appraisals.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that's.
Yeah, it went up.
Yeah,
Yeah, significantly.
but it's monthly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they split it then, so you don't have to pay the full amount.
Oh.
But
okay.
once a year.
Just like recurring numbers, you know, like see certain numbers and it just sucks having a photographic now. You can't sleep at night.
This is that one I was talking about.
Yep. And then Teresa, can you make sure that I get a copy of this thing here for the permits? Yeah, it doesn't make no difference.
Yep, okay. I'll probably email you. I'm just gonna
Yep,
make a note of
No
that.
worries.
Okay.
This one, this was, this is from,
From the
yeah,
inspection place, yep.
inspection services. Yeah. It's from Brett. Right?
Yes. And you had sent over that budget or the,
I just started doing actual
Let's
person's
not.
budget.
so that was just a sample type
Just,
thing? or
yeah,
work?
just kind of see where we're at. The profit and loss, I threw that in there. I didn't really look at it.
Don't go there.
Yeah, we just look at the action versus budget just to kind of see where we're at. So I just started throwing that together.
And a lot of this was from that 5 inches of rain. That's where we had to fix some of them.
Oh, this is the highway.
Yeah, that's,
Yes.
that's,
The flood.
yes.
I'm just trying to see where we're at budget wise. So I just started doing the
You
action.
just caused me to almost have a canary
Yeah,
when
then
you
my
did that.
profit and loss wasn't coming out and I didn't have time to look.
And
at
nothing
it.
was coming out
So
right. And I,
Larry's like, I gave Larry a heart attack because.
So on
Damn
the
near.
other bill, which is Terry's, I did talk to him and he's gonna let me know. And if not, I said, we'll pay it, no big deal, but you know, the board members asked if you were interested in donating part of it or all of it, whichever one. So he'll let me know. And then at that point, so I'm assuming we will approve this. And then based off of whatever is said, this way she can
Yeah.
write it out.
In good faith, yeah. That's
Okay.
nice.
Yeah.
At least he's thinking about it.
well, we made the point.
Right.
So, you know, I make a motion to pay the bills. And you have to write a check if you can get anything out of him. I don't know.
We'll see.
See.
All right, I have a motion made to pay the bills as presented. And a second from Kevin. Motion from Larry. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that will carry. Other matters authorized by law. Do we have anything authorized by law?
Wait, do we end up having to pay that, or is he gonna get?
Is anybody signed up for the district meeting that is set up?
Just trying to get it reduced.
I just.
This comes in.
Okay.
I am not.
I'm not. Because I'm gonna go to the convention instead. So nobody's going to the Towns Association district meeting at the
On
Rock
Thursday?
Garden?
I am.
You are,
Yeah, Thursday.
because you got the budgeting thing in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good
Yep.
thing. Because I can't take what you gave me.
I said, I'm just trying it out.
I know, I realize that.
Trying- just
Good
get
try,
my-
Teresa,
Getting
but
my
boy,
feet wet.
did you give me the canaries. Okay. Oh,
So I don't know if this piece, I've got a question here for the board. If this should be done on this item or on number 19. We'll bring it up here, and if it comes up as 19, it really doesn't make any difference. How does the board feel about changing the clerk and or treasurer to an appointed position versus a voted in position? And the reason I say that is the experience that we had, if this changes and it changes frequently, you will cripple your board to almost nothing. Those two positions are very key for the rest of us. And
so what are you suggesting?
I am suggesting that they're appointed positions instead of a voted in position. And I realize there's some legalities you'd have to look at, or at least make sure that it is, but I
Have
just
to
wanted to see.
include things like annual audits. cost of annual audit. And if we were going, they would go from an elected position, higher position. That's what, because they would be appointed,
Yeah.
so you treat them more like employees than you would elected officials or elected individuals.
Mhm.
And then you're going to have to look at your compensation package. Right?
Well, why would you change it so much more than what you have at this point?
You look at the experience other towns have had in trying to find their appointed candidates. If somebody decides, well, that money is really not worth it to me, I'm not gonna,
Well, that would be the same decision they would make if it was in, right? I mean, any one of us sitting in this room getting paid. This is supposed to be a part-time, and we all know it's way in the hell more than part-time.
well, true.
There is donation on top of donation here flowing out of this room.
That's always has been.
But yes, and I'm not saying that's bad by any
No, no,
stretch.
okay,
I'm just questioning, and I'm fine either way. I'm looking for input. Is it something that a person should investigate? Is it something we shouldn't investigate?
How many towns actually do we know how many towns have the appointed clerk and treasurer?
do you have any perspective on this, right?
I have a lot. If you wish to be, I'll be happy to share.
Go ahead.
Well, yeah.
You asked a question about how many towns, North Sturgeon Bay. They are all appointed positions. South of Sturgeon Bay, including the town of Sturgeon Bay, are all elected positions. I can only relate to the last one that said we're gonna have a referendum and see if we want to go to a appointed clerk and appointed treasurer position. And they did. This is your town, your neighboring township.
North.
And
Nassau. Okay,
and to this day, they had hired two people and they quit after 2 weeks. Or 2 months, and still having the former clerk doing the work. You are serving because you're feeling that you're doing a service. Why you're here today is completely separate than being hired. You're doing a service.
That's the point I was making.
And you're working a hell of a lot cheaper. I felt I contributed something to the township. Now you guys are contributing something to the township because you're willing to do this. Same thing as a county board. We're working on a county board because we're figuring we're doing a service. Now, things are changing because this last election on the county board, we had 2 districts that didn't have a representative. Nobody said, oh, we don't want to do that anymore. What you're finding, if you go to an appointed, you're going to be more than doubling the salary in order to get a qualified person. Now, that's the trouble, to get a qualified person. And now they're doing the clerk and treasurer position, you have to have computer knowledge. You can't do it without computer. You have to have that. You can't do it by writing things like that anymore. Now, I don't feel that our township is ready for an appointed clerk here. I think we still have people that are willing to do the job. Teresa, you stepped up. That's great. And you're qualified. And that Ruth, she felt that she was doing a service and she enjoyed doing it because she got to know the people. She knew everybody in this township.
Yeah.
And that's why we're doing this. And I'm afraid you're going to find the same thing that happened to Sebastopol. Here, well, no, they went from $23,000 a year for the clerk to $30,000 a year. And that's plus you got to pay for insurance, plus you got with no benefit. They didn't offer any benefit. Now, yeah. Nassau is twice the size of Forestville.
right, and you got waterfront, but that's beside the
Yeah,
point.
that's beside.
The point is, we really don't want turnover to because it's such a key position.
Yeah, and
It isn't looking like, oh, well, we can find somebody.
No,
You don't want to find somebody else. Sorry, there's just some positions, there's so many little things that you gotta know and make all happen, and it's like. Turning that apple cart is not a good one to turn.
no,
Now you took this thing on, Teresa, and you've done
Fantastic.
phenomenal job, and you're learning every day. And we still call on Ruth and ask questions,
Right.
and we go get training, and we need to know this and we need to know that. You be the one who carried the biggest load administratively right now.
Right, but think about it, if I run and someone beats me out, then you're back into the same position you were in April. You know, have to look at it that
Starting
way
over
too,
again.
starting over again, so there's
Yeah.
always that little chance.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think we, at this point, we can't even appoint that, we can't even make that until you have to go after, you'd almost have to have a referendum at one point, which we're past that date, you can't put it on the ballot anymore, because we're past that time. So, yeah, there's just a time frame we don't qualify for at this point, from what I'm gathering, even if we were to think about it.
You know, I think we're all thinking the same. It's an important position and we want it to stay the way it is. Type of thing,
Right, and I
You
think
don't
we had,
want, you don't want
and
a
Roy,
freshman.
Roy always made the effort to say, well, let's take a look at the salaries and maybe we get somebody who will want to do that, and I refused you. You know, but the point is, you're right, Roy, we do this as, we're doing a service to this community. I personally think we would be opening up a Pandora's box if we tried to go to an appointed thing at this time, at this juncture.
Mhm.
I'm not saying that down the road, it's not a good thought. Or maybe it'll be a necessity, who knows? But right now. I don't think that I want to make the change myself.
And this is why we're talking.
Right,
Because
Do we know,
You
you know?
need to have an office for this person. And then you appoint, they have to have an office hours.
It could be right here, I mean,
It,
yeah,
it, you have to have an office for them, and,
That would
I think
take
we're
away
working
from
here 3 days a week in
the
this
4-H
room
and
right here.
stuff.
you could work around it, I mean, there's always a workaround.
But, no, it's, and then what happened north of Sturgeon Bay? Jacksonport had a very qualified person. Guess what? She was hired by Gibraltar.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
you know,
Poached
people,
them.
yeah, people, and so there were, so if you have a problem with that.
Pooch.
And so I guess maybe someday people are just gonna look, hey, if you pay me enough money, I'll do the work. Well, yeah, like I say, you're gonna be doubling, more than doubling the salary to get a person at the hours that you want. And then by the same token, you have to firm type of employment that you're looking for. And that's what you expect them to do their duties, and that's gonna be all written down and so, it's working. I think in Southern River, we got a little bit different idea of what we need here, and I think you're working fine at this. There's people in here that would cut, I think available, step in and say, yes, I want to do it. You want to do it. It's great. That's a great thing.
So I guess my sense is that, you know, I'm not in favor of making changes at this point. I don't see. I know where you're coming from with that observation. Yeah, it's good observation. You're right. But I don't know that this is the time.
Okay,
Yeah,
I just got one more thought on that.
Yeah.
We're probably answer this. How many townships have the clerk and treasurer as voting members of the board?
None.
No,
None
No,
do.
no, that's not, yeah, they can't.
yeah, I think that's law.
yeah,
That's not the 5.
Yeah.
And Jill is still doing
she's on the board too.
does she have voting rights?
She's a supervisor. She's got voting rights. She gets the salary of the supervisor, plus she can make up to $15,000 a year as a supervisor for doing the work. That's the maximum.
Yeah.
So really, if she would have continued as a clerk, she would have been making more money than she's doing this right now.
Right,
So
exactly.
she's doing this because she wants to serve. And,
I just thought that'd be, added incentive
she's
to
scared of it.
keep your clerk and your treasurer around.
No,
If they had voting rights.
they have no voting. And I you brought up the subject, you as a town board have an option to, and again, that's a 5-member board, 3 supervisors, chair, 4 supervisors and a chair. I haven't seen that.
I don't think we need it,
Effect.
the need for that, because it's hard enough to
No.
get the members we have.
I don't think we're a big enough town.
Right, yeah.
We don't have that kind of revenue.
Unless you want to go with an administrative. too.
Okay.
Thank you for your input. Well,
Okay, well, thank you for the input. I just wanted to, I just
That's good.
thought
good
about it and
discussion,
wanted to
good
see how
discussion.
everybody felt about that thing. Is it something to investigate or not? Okay, announcements. Any announcements?
No.
Okay, hearing none, we'll move on. Discussion, and items intended for future meeting. So we were gonna talk about, the ordinance for the
Right.
driveway thing was gonna be on the next meeting.
Right.
So we need the town hall, we could probably remove that, the town hall rental fees, remove it.
Well, we've made that as a change. So I don't know that we need to have that on there,
Yeah,
but,
remove it, is what I
you
was,
know,
okay. So next month, Destination Door County is coming to our meeting. So they'll be on our agenda.
okay.
Sue Schwartz, right? Is she from Destination Door County?
Shouldn't that have been under announcements?
Oh.
I don't.
Well, no,
Or-
that's
or-
not.
It's just
oh,
future. No, it's future.
Yeah. Right.
So, Sue,
Destination Door County?
yeah,
Chamber County.
absentee ballots go out this week.
And then, I'm gonna work on that, update for the ordinance resolution
Yeah.
for the county line. You got that?
Well, we'll leave that under roads, I would think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, she is.
We'll be going to the convention. How are we going to the convention? Are you going to, you're going?
Yes, I'm going Monday to Tuesday.
Okay, now I'll be there all 3 days.
I'll be down there checking out some of the bars in the local scene. And some,
Making sure that-
That point.
Spirit, yeah.
That point.
I just-
Okay,
Yeah, I got my letter from the
Yeah.
Towns Association.
Okay, you're welcome.
so we should be good with item number 19, right?
Yes.
Tracy, you got everything down?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna move on to, item number 20. The next town board meeting is gonna be on October 21st, 2024 at 6:30 PM here at the town hall. Looking for an adjournment.
Hang on just a minute. Okay. I make a motion, we adjourn.
I second that.
All right, I have a motion to adjourn from Larry and a second from Jason, all hearing none,
Go ahead.
all opposed? Hearing none, it will carry. Meeting is adjourned.